Hello and what is going on, lovely people of the internet? It is Hootmoney here with another video for you guys today. Today we're talking about Progenity stock, PROG, the stock that I bought at $2. It's sitting at $3 and apparently I am wrong about it. Anyways, all jokes aside, Progenity had a very strong market open. We were celebrating on stream. We brought out the lightsaber Ka-cha! To murder those shorts in the gulag today. So we had a fun time with that, but unfortunately throughout the day Progenity did give up some of its gains. So we're gonna look at the chart right here. Drop that like on the video if you guys have not already. You guys can see, if we zoom in right here, we've got the hourly candlesticks coming up here, and we did pump here at market open, but again we got treated by a nice little sell-off. It bounced off of this 50 moving average right here. Now what we have to keep in mind is that today was 11:30. There was that one-on-one meeting with investors. Me as an investor couldn't even find the link to it, so I'm honestly not 100% sure what happened with that. But Progenity did end the day up only 0.32% after getting up to, I think it was about 19% at one point. So seeing these things pump up and sell off is the case when there is bearish money flow in a stock. We'll go over that when we go over the market cipher reading of Progenity. It's a lot harder to sustain these pumps when money is flowing out of the stock. It's pretty simple when you think about it. But what I want to focus on today is the settlement date today. So today is November 30th, 2021. This is the day that short interest does not get reported, but today's figures. So how many shares were short as of today is what gets reported to FINRA, right? And then afterwards on December 1st, then it's kind of fair game. Then shorts can go crazy and do their thing. So since today is the day where short interest actually matters, a lot of funny business goes on during these days, because shorts are either trying to close their position, manipulate the data, make it look different than it actually is, do whatever it is to screw with our heads in order for FINRA's data to look a certain way. So what we have actually seen here is the past few settlement dates. Actually 3 out of the 4 past previous settlement dates for Progenity, there actually was a moonshot after the settlement date. So right here on 11/15, we saw an absolute moonshot the next day. Right here on October 29th, there was not a moonshot, all right? So this was the outlier here. But if we go here to October 15th, right here, moonshot the next day. And then the previous one right here, this was the first one, I believe it was September 30th or September 29th, absolute moonshot, all right? So 3 out of the 4 last settlement dates actually saw some parabolic price action afterwards. Now, we have less short interest than some of those days, correct? So perhaps it's not as moonshot. And there is probably going to be some increased selling pressure on Progenity because, again, guys, the short squeeze statistics are no longer there. They're still there, kind of, but an actual crazy short squeeze / gamma squeeze at this point is going to be a lot less likely at these current price levels. And you also have to think, there's tons of people who bought in to the massive amounts of hype that we saw right here. The people that told me that I was wrong. You know, even though I bought in back here, right? Even though I bought in back here, the people who are telling me that I was wrong about Progenity, who bought in here, the FOMO chasers, they're the ones who are going to maybe try to get out when they do break even. They're down on the stock right now, and there's going to be additional selling pressure from the delusion filing that we got the past week as well. So I do think there's going to be additional selling pressure if this thing does shoot up. So to see a parabolic run like we got in this range right here is what I think is going to be a bit less likely. We also did break this technical support level right here. And again, guys, the money flow is looking a little bit bearish. So keep in mind those risks, but we do have that tomorrow. So if this comes true, if this comes into fruition, I'm going to be so excited, because that was my theory this whole time, that we get this settlement date of 11:30 and we jump up in the next day. Now, you guys got to follow me on Twitter, right? Because maybe Progenity is not moving how you guys want it to, right? But I'd be making call outs here, guys. This call out that I made on news right here, if you news, you lose. I made a video on news, actually. So you follow me on YouTube to subscribe to the channel. Hit that subscribe button down below and like the video. But I make these call outs, right? And then in after hours, it just starts going crazy. Now, this thing has sold off since then, but right here is where I basically said, so follow me on Twitter. I'm just shilling my Twitter right now. Anyways, we can get into the market cipher. Market cipher here on the 15-minute chart looks pretty good. But as you guys can see, you see all this red. That means that money is flowing out of Progenity. So there is actually a bullish reading right here. We have a bunch of decreasing candles, waves. So when you see these blue waves decreasing, like you see this big wave, smaller big wave, and then another blue wave like that right there, when you see that happening, the decreasing blue waves, that is a bullish sign for a stock. So it is a chance that Progenity does bounce up from here just based off of that alone. But when we're looking at some of these longer time frames, again, it is still bearish money flow. We'll see what happens. Tomorrow would be the day for a reversal if there is one. In my personal opinion, obviously not financial advice, but there's still bearish money flow, right? On every time frame, right here on the 4 hour, right here on the 1 hour, and then even on the shorter time frame such as the 15-minute, there is still bearish money flow. So anytime that Progenity does try to break out, it is going to be a lot harder. So that is essentially what Market Cipher is reading right here. If you want to be a day trader, this is not necessarily the one to go in unless you are shorting, because it makes more sense to short a stock when money is flowing out of it than to go long on a stock. I hope that makes sense. I'm not trying to cause people to get scared. I'm not telling you to go short Progenity. I mean, you can add juice to the short squeeze if you do go out and short Progenity, but that is just the general strategy with Market Cipher, and it's not looking amazing, but hopefully we do get that bounce here tomorrow. Again, the waves decreasing is typically a very good sign. I wanted to bring this up here. Cyber Monday special for Market Cipher does end today. You're not going to get a better deal than this for a while. I'm going to eventually get an affiliate code that brings down the price 25%, but at that point I think it's $1,150. Don't quote me on that, but the $1,000 lifetime membership right here, you're not going to get a better deal than this, and it ends in 6 hours. So you guys can check that out if you guys were interested in Market Cipher. Just wanted to bring that up because this is going to be the best deal that you can. The link's below in the description if you guys wanted to check it out. Also, Moomoo, free money, you guys know the deal. Up to $3,500 if you guys deposit $1. Links below in the description or pinned comment section. Definitely check that out if you guys like free money. I like free money personally. I would hope that you like free money as well. If I were to give you $1 bajillion for free, you would probably say yes. So check out Moomoo down below. Anyways, here we have the short interest the threshold security list. We'll get into the leaderboard in a second, but you see Progenity is obviously still on this list, surrounded by its friends AGC, BBIG, news right here. Again, that stock I called out today that did something. Let's just say it did something. Here on the short squeeze leaderboard, you guys can see Progenity is down to 64 out of not out of 100, but just 64 overall out of like 15,000 stocks. So still decently high, but not as high as some of these other ones. Ortex, the short interest actually did come up today a little bit. So 3.7 million shares were borrowed, and then another million were returned. This is the first day in a while now that we have seen more borrowed shares than returned shares. You guys can see right here, the orange line has been above the yellow line each and every single day, and there's been an excess of returned shares in comparison to the shares that were put on loan. So because of that, it is an indication that shorts were in fact squeezed out of the stock. There likely was a lot of short covering over the past 2 weeks in Progenity, and there likely was a little bit of short squeeze when we got that nice gamma push right up here and right over here. There was definitely likely a lot of short covering. I'm just going to be honest with you guys. And to see that shorts are now dropping back into this stock, 3.7 million extra shares were borrowed as of today. That's a decent sign that short interest could in fact pick up over the next coming days. We also got that utilization drop as I predicted. Average age on loan is settling down here at 22 days. It dropped from about 28 days. Another sign that shorts were in fact squeezed, but obviously there's still 10 million short interest on the stock, so not all shorts have been squeezed, but it's just at the point now where there are other plays, right? There are other plays that have better short interest data. If you just scroll up here, There are plenty of other ones that probably are more likely to see some parabolic price action from an actual short squeeze than Progenity. If we look at Fintel right here, you guys can see 72 on the leaderboard right there. It said 0 shares available to be shorted 13 hours ago. Then it went back to 1 million. They have shares to be shorted at this point. Utilization did drop. I'm not going to trust that 0 figure. Borrow fee is also coming down. So obviously you need a high borrow fee for a short squeeze. If it's coming down, that's a sign that it's easier to short the stock, that shorts are not in the worst position overall. And you guys can see that short volume ratio has been coming up again. It's usually over 50, so this isn't anything extreme, but it is still very high. And the fact that we are still on this threshold security list, it doesn't make sense how there's so much short volume in this stock. We also got some new failure to deliver data right here. 1 million as of 11/10, 1.5 million as of 11/09. Nothing too crazy, and this is mostly because obviously this was before we had this nice parabolic price action right here. So all the new failure to delivers are from right here in this range when it essentially was going flat, and majority of the failure to delivers would have happened last week. So we don't have the actual juicy data, but it was still pretty high there in terms of failure to delivers. Getting into the options flow today, overall it was pretty bearish. But you do have this one floor trader that came in here with $135,000 in premium, buying a $2 call option expiring in April of 2022. So that is a bullish bet right there, the biggest bet of the day for Progenity. And it actually turned this into a bullish flow right here. So 65% bullish, but it's completely skewed by this one statistic right here. There was another bull that came in here with a $2 strike price call option expiring 12/3, and then this one right here expiring in July of 2022, 7.5. So that one's out of the money, but the rest of them were bearish, and you guys can see that the bears were targeting the 121 2021 and then the 1210 right here, as well as that 4.5 strike price. Looking at historical options flow, it did come down again. There's a lot less volume on the stock right now, a lot less anticipation of a short squeeze, so it makes sense that we're not seeing this extreme bullish flow that we've been seeing for almost a few months now in Progenity. And looking at the biggest options trades of the day, it was about 50% bullish and then 50% bearish. Again, the highest was that floor trade of 135,000 in premium right there, but only the top 5 right here were above 10,000 in premium or more. And this is just something completely new for Progenity, because for the longest time Progenity was getting tons of whale bets, and now whale volume in the options market has been coming down very significantly in Progenity. The most active chains were all these 12/3 speculative call options right here, some weeklies, and then the dark pool volume again was just as much as yesterday. Anyways, guys, that's about it for the video. I hope you guys have enjoyed. Hope you guys learned something today. As always, again, today was the settlement day, November 30th. We might get some nice price action tomorrow, but again, I can't make any promises to you guys. We do have bearish money flow, so any breakout that we get may in fact get treated with a nice little sell-off. All right, so be careful, plan your bets accordingly. I hope you guys have all got disgustingly rich off of Progenity. I know not everyone did. I know a lot of people did buy the top. It's hard to time these things, these squeeze plays. If you're jumping in late, guys, if you're jumping into a play that's up 200 to 300% in a very short period of time, yes, it could go higher, right? You could catch that momentum and carry that thing up, and then you could sell it at the absolute top. But in reality, it's so difficult to time these things. So you got to get in early. You got to get in before people really start talking about it. Once it reaches peak media hype, that is probably not the time to get in, right? And you could make money on it. Like when GameStop was ripping, it just kept ripping and ripping and ripping. Support.com, that thing kept ripping all the way up to 60. I get it. You can make money, but it's so much more risky if you're buying something that's already up. So you have to know the risks. I try to tell you guys these risks all the time, and that's why I'm like, maybe chop some off the top when you are up on your money, because you don't know what can happen. You could sell off like crazy. All right, so be careful, plan your bets accordingly. Always remember to take profit. And I can't give you guys financial advice, but that is just my personal opinion. So Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll be seeing you guys next time. Check out Moomoo if you guys like free money. Deposit $1, get up to $3,500 in free stock. Links below in the description, pinned comment section. And I'll be seeing you guys next time. Have a wonderful day. Peace.